So to get back to the conversation of the night, man, again, I appreciate y'all for engaging us in this little game. We play this game every Sunday night, man, on Late Night Love Ties. Somebody made a point in regards to it's after you have sex that you actually become one, biblically. Ooh. So let me ask y'all this question. And I don't know, maybe this is a grown people conversation. I don't know if young people can really I don't know. If you can't see yourself marrying them, you don't see them as being a good parent later in life or even that much of a role model, why have sex with them?
It's real. But it sucks when
she thick. Huh?
What that mean?
I mean, that's probably why. I'm
giving fam.
I'm giving a why.
Hey, no,
I'm trying to figure out, in regards to, now, and, if we knew then what we knew now. If you know this person ain't gonna be nothing, bro, you won't even rock with her like that, but you're attracted to her. But why have sex with somebody that you don't even see yourself marrying?
I agree.
No, you notice that question pretty much is like an eye opener for a lot of baby mamas and baby daddies, because a lot of them that I've noticed and peeped, he is not a good father or she's not a good mother, but why did you lay down with him?
Lust.
It goes back to that beginning.
It's lust.
Yeah.
But I do agree though, if you can't see nothing positive inside of them, what you actually would look forward to in a husband or a wife, there's no reason to have relations with them.
But them urges though.
I was about to say he's envy.
I was gonna say some people they're leaded by their emotions. People live off of emotions.
But you're a man.
And I'm not saying for me. I'm speaking of people in general.
You keep bringing up urges.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's a fact. Everybody got urges. You feel me? I'm pretty sure. I think
your urge is stronger than mine, fam. Just to be honest.
That's cool. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is that there are people who are doing things off of emotions, and then after it's all done, oh my God, I should have known better. So this is why when Noah was saying earlier, when it comes to I think it was Sylvan, you feel me, was saying when it comes to lust and love, lust is based off what? Emotions. You feel me? You're just going off of things that you feel at the moment. But when it comes to love, it's you trying to, see a future with that person. You're thinking clear. You're trying to get closer to God in that sense. But there are people out here, bro, they don't know God. They don't have that love. They just go off of emotion and whatever they think that's love, but it's lust at the end of the day.
So they don't really know what love is.
Facts. Exactly. That's what it is. So those urges, where they kick in.
Lust lives in your feelings of unworthiness and trying to fulfill something that only God's love can fulfill. That's where lust comes from. That's why you have sex with someone you don't see a future with, because you're thinking something in this moment is going to fulfill me. Yeah. It's going to complete me because I feel so good in this moment. It has to be for something. But without God's love, without God's timing, without that, it's meaningless. And what you end up doing is hurting yourself. Yeah. I remember when I was young in my youth time, when I was going to youth church, they glued two pieces of paper together and then tried to peel those papers apart. And they said, do you see how there's still parts of that paper on each other? That's what you're doing. You're giving up parts of yourself you don't even know. And you're not even ready to give up yet because you don't know what that means. You don't know how powerful that is. And so you actually end up feeling less instead of gaining more, which is what happens when you do it in love.
So with that being said, Noah, because I've been having this question for a while, I've heard this especially amongst our Haitian community, and they use a Bible verse for it. I'm gonna find it. Yo dis comme ça, de beaucoup coucher avec un monde ou déjà marié avec moun ça. They say once you sleep with somebody, right, you're married to that person.
Yeah, that's biblical.
You feel me? So if that's the case, some of us been married about 20, 30, 40 times.
Right.
All right, so what I'm trying to...
That's a lot of numbers, fam.
You know what I'm saying?
I just heard what you said.
That's real.
Wow.
That's real. That's real though.
So how do we break those marriages? Quote unquote.
Break the marriages?
Yeah.
Before I answer that, go ahead. What's your question?
Okay, so before I go, earlier when I first spoke, I said that all of this is due to lack of education They don't know. And so I feel like, and this is something that C said a lot earlier as well, is that you have to start when they're a baby. When you train that child and you let them know what God's love is, when they understand God's love, they're not trying to go out into the world to seek it because they know they're not going to find it. And if you put that into their minds that to ask yourself, do you want to be one with that person? Yes, you may feel like, oh my gosh, I'm on fire. I can't stand it no more. Like, I need to have this now. But understand what's going to happen when you do become one. That's y'all stuck together forever. And so I think that we have to drill that into the kids' minds as well. And Gabe, this is something also that you said, and Neff's response was, it's poison not to tell kids about sex and everything, but you have to. I'm a human services major, and it is heartbreaking to know how many kids have been sexually abused and they don't even know because nobody's taught them. They have to know when they're 18 and they've already slept with so many other people because they are like, well, this is what was done to me when I was younger, whenever I felt this way. So this is, my coping mechanism.
Normal.
They don't know God as right. But for the ones when they do, it breaks them. And so you have to tell them when they're young. And you can't be afraid because the Bible says, love is without fear. So out of love, you are teaching that child and you are training them. Listen, this is the world you live in, and this is how you need to protect yourself.
At what
So-
age you feel like it's proper to
Praise
tell
God.
the child about sex?
Well, no, okay, so I do everything with the Bible, I would say, but it's not necessarily teaching them about sex, but teaching them about their anatomy, because they need to know nobody touches this area. Nobody touches
Amen.
me this way. Nobody's supposed to
Amen.
touch me that way. You start there, and then they have like a little friend. Maybe that friend was sexually abused, and now they're like, oh, let's play a little game. That child is gonna know, whoa, this is not a game. My mom said we don't touch this area. Because I've heard stories about that as
think,
well.
I think
Amen,
that
amen.
touch the area. I think you tell them that from like when they got connaissance.
Yes, and
I'm
then
talking
when they
about the
get
actual sex talk.
Like the birds and bees.
Yeah, the birds and the bees.
right now in the age we live in, elementary, you have to start when they're like
I think that
8.
also depends on the child, though,
I-
because every
You
child
do.
is different. You have to know your child and where they are in their state. That's what it comes down to, is you as a parent. You have to know what your child is doing. You have to be involved. You have to know where their curiosity level is to know when to have that conversation. You just don't say, oh, I'm going to have it when they're 8. But then you realize when your child's 8, they're not even thinking about that.
And
They
now
still
you the
playing
one
with
that's gonna put it in their
butterflies.
head.
And
Yeah.
now you put stuff in their head they weren't even thinking about. Like, you have to know your child to know when it's time to. They'll let you know. You'll know.
Personal. My jit was exposed to that around that age, and that's when I gave her that talk. You know what I'm trying to tell you? Like, oh, I see where your head at. Let me say something to you. You know what I'm saying?
It's Lake
So-
Worth, bro.
So no, I want. Okay, since I agree with all of that. Now, when that child gets older, right? Let's say around their 20s and in a relationship. You got a young Christian woman, young Christian man. They in a relationship like 2, 3, 4 years, right? You feel me? And they invested a lot in that relationship, but they're still doing things. What do we tell them then?
In regards to what?
Like they don't like they together. You feel me? They invested like 3, 4 years in the relationship, but they try not to fall. But you con tombe and stuff like that. Do we advise the people who's going through that right now to not be with the person that you're with because you keep falling?
No.
What do we tell them?
You ask them what are they ready to do. Like if you're ready to move forward in this relationship with Christ, and y'all trying to make this a part of y'all foundation, then there are certain things that which you have to put into action.
Okay.
And there is a sense of discipline. Like if we don't have discipline within, you shouldn't even be married, because that's like an insecurity that she was talking about. Dealing with those insecurities where you feel like in order for me to be fulfilled, I have to have sex. Your husband ain't gonna ever do that for you. Your wife ain't ever gonna do that for you. So if that was the only sole reason that you got married, you ain't never gonna be happy in life. And one thing I've tried, you know what I'm saying, we've been working with you for a while. You just tell them, because you know these jits out here getting off. I was a jit getting off, but He ain't gotta even. You know what?
So man, green.
Nah, he ain't green.
Don't even say nothing.
Right.
He don't know what it was,
Nah,
man.
I don't need to
He
get
don't
into
know who
that.
he was.
I don't even care.
He's a good. Come on, man. He changed his life.
It's
man.
real. It's
I've
real
been-
out chill, man.
I've been a good guy my whole
I
life.
never did this without you. What you know
Lost
about
my
real
vir-
out you?
Lost my virginity, I think. Still waiting, you feel me? I'm waiting on my wife. But in all honesty, bro, like we have to understand that in order to make these things a reality, it takes you know what I'm saying, being that, making that decision upon it.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl Tasha, one of the panelists on Late Night Love Ties. Catch us every Sunday night from 10:30 p.m. to 12 a.m. You can follow us on YouTube at Believe TV Productions and follow us on the gram as well. Come rock with us. Come gain some knowledge. Come, just chat with us. Don't forget to tell a friend, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we out.